The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 72 degrees, cloudy at 1:40. I'm Kevin Rincon. Here's what's happening. A Bronx mom and grandmother charged with murder in the death of a 16-year-old boy. He died months ago. They were taken into custody today after the medical examiner ruled the death a homicide. He was starved to death. A mother-daughter duo in Queens arrested, accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of merchandise from local retailers and then reselling them online. With the new sheriff in town, we have a new contract between the city and the union representing deputy sheriffs. They've been without a contract for over 4 years. President Trump says he may pull Todd Blanche's nomination as Attorney General until after the two Republican holdouts are out of office. Those holdouts don't like the IRS settlement he brokered. And days after we learned FIFA's president wanted to sell a stake in the World Cup to a private equity firm, every single European team says they'll be boycotting both the men's and women's World Cup. Starting to see a little light rain in the city. Otherwise, it stays cloudy, a high of 77. 141, let's get you to where you need to go with Greg Rice.
You cannot catch a break on the east side of Manhattan. Northbound FDR Drive after they got rid of a crash near Gracie Mansion. Now we've got a new wreck on the FDR northbound just as we approach the Queensboro Bridge. We are looking for it on the 1010 Wins Jam Camp. We're just staring at taillights here on the FDR northbound from 14th Street up to the Queensboro Bridge. Southbound sluggish into the 70s. The west side, it's just better either way. We go to the Bronx where traffic is right now at a standstill on the eastbound Cross Bronx Expressway near Rosedale Avenue. We are looking into why on the 1010 Wins Jam Camps, but off of the inbound George, southbound Vegan, eastbound Bruckner combo, better idea. The inbound George itself, about 90 minutes on the upper, 60 on the inbound lower, 46 is the worst of the local approaches. West side, best of it out of town. Lincoln, no more than a few minutes in, few minutes out from 11th, better from 9th. Now 15 to 20 home at the Holland. And on the Jersey side, the Newark Bay, the better play either way. Greg Rice, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
A few months ago, a 16-year-old boy was found dead in the Bronx. Now, the mom and grandmother have been arrested, accused of starving that teenager to death. Sources tell us they were charged soon after the medical examiner ruled the death of Adonis Jarvis a homicide due to chronic negligence, starvation, and dehydration. The boy was developmentally disabled. He died at the hospital on March 16th. 62-year-old Denise Jarvis and 36-year-old Geneva Jarvis charged with murder, taken into custody this morning. The search continues for a 10-year-old girl who went missing after going in for a swim in the Passaic River. She was one of 3 kids swept away by the current. One died, another was found safe. And Glenn Schuck has the latest.
Family and friends lining the banks of the Passaic as state police try to find the body of this 10-year-old girl. An 11-year-old girl among the 3 that fell in. She survived last night's tragedy, according to Mayor Hector Laura, because of the actions of her 10-year-old brother, who didn't make it out.
His very last act is potentially saving his big sister's life. Whether angels were guiding that, God, but his last act before he went under was to push his sister into a direction where she found the rocks and she was able to climb up.
Laura says first responders will keep searching the entire length of the Passaic River until they recover this young girl's body. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM in Passaic.
On Long Island, the driver's ed teacher is accused of making sexually explicit comments during driving lessons. That guy is now facing criminal charges.
The comments were directed to male students. Police say the 66-year-old driver's ed teacher made a series of sexually explicit and offensive comments to students during lessons in Hop Hog, and it happened throughout the month of July. Authorities say 66-year-old Joseph Klein works for Elite Driving School and has been charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
A mother-daughter duo charged with operating an international stolen merchandise ring out of their homes. Queens DA Melinda Katz says they had folks who would steal clothing for them and beauty products from local stores. The two women would then sell that merchandise online through social media. They are also accused of shipping some of the stolen goods for sale down to the DR, to the Dominican Republic. Maria Betances, Leslie Cruz were told they would keep the goods at their East Elmhurst apartment and at a Valley Stream home that the mom used to run a daycare center out of. Some of the products were sold to undercover cops. There were more than 5,000 pieces of stolen goods, a combined retail value of nearly $160,000. There's a bit of a gunfight in New York. State leaders, including Governor Hochul, they want to pass gun safety bills, tighten the rules. The Trump administration has been actively rolling back regulations.
They want to undo more than 30 common sense rules to weaken background checks and make it easier for violent people, criminals, and those suffering from mental illness to get their hands on firearms, including weapons of war.
So she's announcing stricter rules on gun sales to try and counter those rollbacks, while also increasing enforcement and education efforts. Starting now, New York State Police will prioritize inspections of firearms dealers linked to guns used in crimes. The state will also expand its interstate task force on illegal guns and launch an education campaign, reminding gun dealers that New York's firearm laws remain in effect despite the changes at the federal level. 2 months after Mayor Mamdani got rid of Sheriff Anthony Miranda, City Hall and the union representing the city's deputy sheriffs have reached a contract agreement. They have been working without a deal for more than 4 years now. If approved, the Daily News says deputy sheriffs would get a raise in line with other uniformed civil servants. They'd get a bigger uniform allowance, a welfare fund with access to dental, vision, and life insurance benefits for them and their families. The benefits and pay raises would be applied retroactively as the union's last contract expired December 31st, 2021. President Trump is threatening to withdraw the nomination of Todd Blanche, his former postal lawyer, who he has nominated to be Attorney General. The only thing standing in the way of his confirmation, seemingly, has been 2 Republican senators, John Cornyn and Tom Tillis. Blanche, while at the DOJ, helped negotiate a settlement of Trump's lawsuit against the IRS, which created the Anti-Weaponization Fund and made sure Trump and members of his family could never be audited again. Cornyn and Tillis have demanded a written confirmation that that will not happen. Cornyn, who lost his primary bid, says he can do what's right without having to worry about politics now.
Well, I like to think that, in matters of principle like this, my position would be the same, but obviously provides a measure of political freedom.
Trump says Blanche is a star, and he'll keep him as acting attorney general until Cornyn and Tillis are out of office. A first-of-its-kind study from the CDC finds that deadly mold infections may be more common than doctors realized.
Researchers detected about 450 cases in Atlanta area hospitals over 5 years, and about a third of the patients died in the hospital. The study found hospitals can expect to see 3 to 5 cases per year for every 100 inpatient beds. Senior study author Dr. Jeremy Boyd says it's important to understand because the problem may grow in the future as more people are exposed to mold in the wake of natural disasters influenced by climate change. Infections are especially dangerous for the elderly and patients with weakened immune systems. The study highlights the need for hospitals to be aware of potential cases, especially in areas prone to mold problems. I'm Jennifer King.
A Montana hiker impaled by his own trekking pole near the top of the state's highest peak, and somehow he managed to save himself.
David Cifaldi and his 2 hiking companions were crossing Montana's froze-to-death plateau July 20th when Cifaldi slipped and became impaled by his trekking pole.
I remember rolling over and this kind of realization of something's not right here. Realized I had this trekking pole stuck in my side.
Cifaldi, a 32-year-old wound care nurse, was concerned about the cost of a rescue helicopter, so
I was able to kind of talk to my friends a little bit and get everybody on the same page that we were going to make the decision to hike out. It took us 6.5 hours to make it across, make it back down to the Mystic Lake Trailhead. Another hour to the Stillwater Billings Clinic ER, and then my friends drove me from there to the Intermountain Health ER.
The pole must be vital organs. I'm Donna Warder.
Less than 2 weeks after Spain won the World Cup.
To cross, hooks it in. Williams battling, knocks it down. It's free. It's a goal. It's Ferran Torres.
There is some serious doubt about what 2030 will look like. Today, UEFA, European soccer's governing body, says all 55 member nations have agreed to boycott the men's and women's World Cup in protest to FIFA President Gianni Infantino's effort to sell a stake of the World Cup to a private equity group run by Jared Kushner's brother Josh. The plan would raise $20 billion in outside investments. The boycott means Germany, France, England, the champions, Spain, Portugal, Norway, the Dutch, none of them will take part in the World Cup. Infantino has set a September 19th deadline for associations to accept the plan. Wins news time 151. Let's get you to where you need to go with Greg Rice.
Now, as the rain falls at the inbound George, the traffic times grow. The inbound upper level right now, we're looking at 90 minutes, 60 minutes or so on the inbound lower. That West Side Highway, still the easiest way to skip town. Northbound FDR Drive near the Queensboro Bridge, we're dealing with some trouble and a very slow ride right now from 14th Street all the way on up. The Lincoln Tunnel, no more than about 10 minutes in. Outbound Lincoln, an extra 15 from 11, so 9th Avenue's a little bit better. Holland, 20 minutes on the outbound ride on the Jersey side. Newark Bay better either way. Clearview, Throgs next, still the best of it. Across the Upper East River and on the southbound Cross Island Parkway. A crash near Linden Boulevard. Looks like a northbound accident near Northern Boulevard. What the Clearview does, it does a whole lot better for you at this hour. To and from Staten Island bound Verrazano with construction on both levels. That's not helping. North is the westbound Staten Island Expressway, which is all clogged up as far as South Avenue. Greg Rice, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
A check of the AccuWeather forecast. Meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, Kevin, a lot of clouds around the some breaks of sunshine, and that'll continue at times through the rest of this afternoon. We'll still have a couple of showers around, a couple of showers right now in parts of the city, especially the Bronx through Manhattan, portions of Staten Island, and as Greg was talking about around the George Washington Bridge around Fort Lee and Cliffside Park. We have a couple of showers moving to the south and southwest, and a few showers off to the north through Rockland and Westchester and towards Stamford and Connecticut as well. So we'll have a couple of showers, might have a rumble of thunder in a few spots through the rest of this afternoon, a high of 77. Perhaps an evening shower tonight. It'll turn out partly cloudy, low 66. Humid tomorrow, partly sunny. Maybe an afternoon shower in a few spots, especially toward Long Island and Connecticut. I think most of us stay dry there tomorrow, high of 83. And the weekend looks largely dry at this point with some sunshine, high 85 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday. Will be humid through the weekend. And there may be a shower or thunderstorm by Sunday night. Right now we have a cloudy sky at 72 in Midtown. We're going up to 77 this afternoon. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Right now, 72 degrees, light rain in the city, otherwise cloudy throughout the afternoon. A high of 77 for this afternoon. Time now for Bloomberg Money Watch.
It's often said that you have to spend money to make money. But for Adidas, some are wondering if it spent too much. Adidas was all over the World Cup, rolling out ads featuring Lionel Messi and Bad Bunny and merch months before the tournament even started. It meant an increase of nearly $250 million in marketing spending that did not deliver as hoped. Operating income fell short of forecasts in the just-finished quarter. Adidas stock fell 12% today. I'm Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
WINS FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Roseanne Cox Peralta is our service aide. Justin Schrager is at the editor's desk. And Kevin Rincon.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
Good afternoon. 70 degrees with light rain falling in some pockets at 2 o'clock. I'm Larry Mullins, and here's what's happening. Hello. We'd like to take some showers over here. Some folks living in a city-owned property say the health department giving them the runaround on whether or not the water is safe from Legionnaires. They're scared to do anything, and they're protesting about it this afternoon. In Passaic, a 10-year-old girl is still missing, but another child survives after the mayor there says her little brother became a hero before he died, too.
His very last act was potentially saving his big sister's life.
Yeah, we'll get an update on that terrible tragedy on the river there. Different kind of tragedy takes the life of a 16-year-old boy in the Bronx. His mother and grandmother now charged with starving him to death. We've got details on that. Also, a mother and daughter in Valley Stream arrested and charged with allegedly sending out groups of people to steal from retailers and then selling the goods online. And the nationwide exodus continues with Meemaw and Pawpaw headed south and their young'uns moving north. Why can't they all just be like 1010 wins, moving at the speed of New York? Stand by, Winds family. Your news is about to start. AccuWeather is cloudy and humid. Get a couple of showers out of it. Still feeling it already. And a high of 77. Let's get Thursday afternoon started. Winds news time 2:01 now. Let's get you where you need to go first. Here's Greg Rice.
Now here's Queens. Here's trouble. Cross Island northbound multi-car pileup at Northern Boulevard. That's why the Cross Island Parkway is at a northbound standstill from the Grand Central. You can do better on the northbound Clearview. Southbound Cross Island, though, another collision before Linden Boulevard. It's all backed up from Braddock Avenue, and this is where the southbound Clearview, unfortunately, is not an option.